How's it going, guys? So today we're doing tiny house Snapchat Q&A. We also kind of went a little crazy with the filters last night. We posted a lot of like weird Snapchats. I think a lot of them might just be responses to some of our Snapchats. So
like, watch this one.
Like we were just playing around with the filters.
There's one that was so funny too.
So, what's the layout of the new house? I'm so excited in that house, tiny house, because you are doing a tiny house and the other one, right?
Yeah.
So the layout, like, we haven't decided 100% on what it's exactly going to be like. I think Hannah might maybe do like a 3D model of it, just so that we can kind of get an idea of the basic layout.
Yeah, I mean, we have
visually see it, and
we know what we want, like, in our heads, and we've talked about it.
You'll see. You'll see.
Maybe that's what I'll do today, because I like doing those things. It's just with that program, I don't know if I can actually do that, but.
What do you guys think that you'll miss most about living in a normal house once you move into your tiny house? And what's the one thing you want your tiny house to have?
I don't think that we would miss anything.
There are some like benefits of like even living in this apartment compared to the tiny house. Like there's a big oven.
We'll miss the dishwasher.
The dishwasher, because we do use that. So, and also just like we won't have a normal toilet probably. We'll just have a compostable toilet, or not a composting toilet.
We won't have a pool either.
Yeah. So I mean, there's like small things, right? It's nice to just be able to to go to the bathroom and just like flush it away and then it's gone, but. We probably, maybe like when we get our property set up, we could put in a regular toilet and have it hooked up to a septic tank. Yeah. But for the first while, like we'll just have a regular composting toilet.
But like obviously we'll have a huge yard for the dogs. We'll have lots of space. We'll be able to grow 90% of our own food. There's many more benefits to it than disadvantages. We'll have more privacy. We'll have our own land.
Yeah, and the one thing that we really want is we really want to have like a really nice kind of like kitchen and eating area. Yeah. So that's probably going to be the most important thing, because that's like our life. So
eating and making food.
Hey Hannah and Derek, my question is, when you get the tiny house, are you guys allowed to just move it and park it anywhere, or do you have to get a license?
All right, so the technicalities of, there's a lot of gray area because people do live in RVs and they live in it year round, but it is parked in a place that is zoned for that. So there'll be an RV parks, etc. When you call an RV or you call a tiny house your permanent home, that's where there's an issue, because it's not a permanent dwelling, right? because it's a mobile vehicle, right? Like it's a mobile home. If you just say that you're recreating in it, that's technically legal. But when you say it's your permanent house and that's where you're living, that's where there's this gray area.
Hi guys, so I just wanted to ask, what is the price range for the tiny house that you saw in San Diego? And also, Happy Valentine's Day.
The price of that tiny house is $29,000. So funny, like the homeowner actually just text messaged me. It was $29,000. It would have been $500 a month to rent that space. I think for our tiny house, we're trying to build it. We want to build it like $25,000.
Yeah, and
it'd be a hell of a lot nicer as well than that one, because it would be the way that we want it, and you know, built a lot better. Like she did it.
She didn't take a lot of time. She kind of slapped it together.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you guys considered calling Tiny House Nation and going on that show, or if you guys would prefer to just do it all on your own. And I asked that because I've been like binge watching that show, and then I saw your YouTube video and I thought it'd be so awesome to see you guys on there. Anyways, best of luck.
Personally, I would not want to be on like a show showing our build or whatever like that. I personally would want to keep it all on this vlog channel on Life Inside a Box, and then I can show it in the way that I want to show it, as opposed to having somebody like film the actual process.
Yeah, and then we have control over it as well.
I've always wondered about how plumbing works, so if you could explain that with the tiny house, that would be awesome.
Damon! HCH. I just want to know how the plumbing works in those tiny house trailers. You have to hook it up to something?
So the plumbing would be very similar to how it would work with like a regular RV. So you would have typically like a garden hose or something that would be your supply line for all your water. The drain is a little bit different. A lot of tiny houses use what is called a French drain for the gray water. So for the water that comes, say, from the shower or from the sinks, like it's considered gray water. So it can just be drained out of the house, like into the ground. Usually it's on some rocks or something like that. The black water, which comes from the toilet, for us, if we use a composting toilet, then it would go in a bag. Then you have to dispose of it.
Did you brush your teeth?
Yeah.
Maybe do it again. Just kidding.
How soon do you guys want to be moving into a tiny house? Like, timeline-wise?
It'll probably take at least 6 months to build.
6 to 8 months, so December.
Yeah. If we can put in consistent work hours and keep picking away at it and keep working at it, then we can get it done relatively soon. But it's not like there's no deadline for it because
Yeah.
I don't want to be rushed.
I mean, the place where we're building it, she's really relaxed as well, but it's not, I don't think it's gonna take us a year.
I don't think so.
But that's what everybody says when they start building one, right?
Yeah.
The biggest problem with people who build their own, usually they run out of money, and that's the biggest issue.
Yeah.
Which isn't really gonna be an issue for us.
Hey guys, do you guys plan on having a compost toilet or any other form of toilet? Thanks.
So we just go with a composting toilet just because it's just easier to get set up, because if you have to hook up into a septic system, then you have to make sure that your lot has a septic system. Composting toilet's just kind of easier to get going. It's kind of like a little bit less convenient, I guess you could say. But down the road, it would be nice just to have a regular toilet in there if we have a septic system and a leach field set up.
Hey, how's the bathroom situation?
What?
We just answered that.
Hello, my sweets. Are you guys at all nervous that when you first move into the tiny house, you might be stepping on each other's toes in the beginning? Snapchat.
No, I mean, I think we'd have more space than we'd have in this shit.
We already kind of like step on each other's toes as it is in this house, so I think it would be a little bit easier just because there's more kind of like, there's more different
areas.
rooms. Yeah.
Right now we have a bedroom and we have this room, which we don't really use. In the tiny house, we'd have our bedroom loft, we'd have an office loft, we'd have the kitchen, which would be a lot bigger than this kitchen, so it'd pretty much make it like another room. And then we'd also have a living area downstairs with a couch and stuff. So,
and then we'd have
but
and then we'd have outside as well.
yeah, and then we'd have tons of room outside. So there'd basically be 6 separate areas that we could, 5, I mean, nobody's gonna really hang out in the bathroom, but like, there's gonna be 5 separate areas in the house.
Are you going to be traveling around the US with your tiny house?
We're not gonna have a vehicle. Like, we don't wanna buy a truck. That's our thing. Because they're so wasteful. We would just rent a truck when we have to move it. Down the road, we'd probably buy like a Tesla or something like that to get around the city if we wanted to go and travel or do whatever. We wanna have a more economically and environmentally friendly car. But we're not gonna buy a truck, so no, we're not gonna be traveling around the...
Like, we will travel, but not with a tiny house.
Hey guys, I also incorporate a minimalist life and am working towards building a tiny house. And I was just wondering what kitchen essentials you guys have without crowding your kitchen.
So we definitely have the Vitamix. We would have...
The Instant Pot.
I'd probably get rid of the food processor just because we don't really use it that much. We'd keep the juicer because I'm gonna be juicing like a ton in the tiny house just because I'll be able to grow everything that I'm juicing. Like, now I don't do it because it's expensive. I would probably get a toaster oven depending on how much power it takes when we're off grid, but that'd probably be it.
Cool, thanks for all of your questions. They're very good, and there's like a lot of like little things that you kind of have to do differently in a tiny house and that you have to think about. Like, I know I first started like researching this stuff almost 2 years ago. And so it's been something that that's definitely been kind of like percolating in my mind, and you know, I've watched so many videos on YouTube and I've read books about it, and
That's what we talked about when we first started talking, was that this is what we wanted to do. And it's funny how our plans change so much and then it's just come full circle all the way back. And you guys have seen us go through our thought process, and like, I know some people are like, you guys change your minds so much, but it's like, that's what everyone does. It's just they usually don't do it on YouTube where all these people are watching. So everybody changes their mind a million times.
Yeah, like we're not gonna like do something that we don't want to do to make our YouTube viewers happy because we said that we were gonna do it before. Especially when it's like our personal lives, you know, we're gonna do the things that make the most sense to us, right?
Yeah, and it really just, I mean, we really wanted to do what we were planning on doing before, but I think we got ahead of ourselves and we were thinking, oh, we'll just move to San Diego and save money when we're there. And then we're like, well, why? That wouldn't even make sense. We might as well just stay here because we don't want to be here because it'd be too hot. It's just everything that has happened, like finding that tiny house online and staying in it and seeing that whole experience and being like, we could live in one of these. Like, we could really live in one of these things for the rest of our lives, honestly, if we built it good enough.
And that was one of our main concerns, is we're like, oh, we could never live in one of those, right? But actually just staying in it for like one night, we're like, this isn't actually that bad.
Yeah, we could live in it.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows if down the road we'd end up building a bigger house. I told Derek when I'm like 70, I'm not going up and down a loft, but he's like, that's pretty far away. I don't even know if the world will be intact by then, you know? It might blow up by then.
Who knows,
Whatever, so we'll see. Our plans are probably going to change another 100 times, but you guys get to see our thought process and how we make decisions and all that kind of stuff. I mean, nobody marries the first guy that they date. Nobody goes to the first college that they've ever thought of and the first job that they've ever wanted, because we'd all be astronauts and fucking princesses. So like, just let us go through our thought process. Everyone makes a billion different decisions before, or ideas before they actually do something. So
absolutely,
it's just us, you know, thinking out loud. Let us
Awesome.
know what you want our next Snapchat Q&A to be about, because we're probably going to be doing these like once a week. So, and we want to obviously make this channel more than just food and whatever, and that's why we think it's so great to build a tiny house, because we always wanted this was going to be a tiny house channel.
Yeah.
But it was just going to be a 700 square foot tiny house channel.
Now it's going to be smaller.
It's going to be a real tiny house.
A real tiny house. Cool. Awesome. Thanks so much for watching, guys. You can catch us on the next vlog. Talk to you soon. Peace.